Welcome to the Zoom.
How we doing, guys?
If we want to get us started with the opening statement, then we'll get into questions.
Now we're looking forward to getting in the beginning parts of spring ball. We're 6 practices in, throwing a lot at them. Been a lot of different moving parts, worked a lot of different situations to get it, because I believe in whole part whole in the installation. So some of these young guys, it's a lot on them, but have done a good job. Competition's been good. Like I said, we got a long ways to go, but just right now, what we're trying to find out is who can do what, who can play where, what our combinations are if we move guys around. And it's hard to do that too much right now in the beginning. We're doing it some, as much as we can. We will the second half even more so, to develop depth at different positions, different combinations, whether it's up front, in the secondary, linebacker, running backs, quarterbacks, tight end, or whatever it may be. But they're just trying to see who can play, but mainly trying to get fundamentally better, doing ordinary things better than anybody else, and get our fundamentals down to base concepts of what we have to do and understand along with situational play. So we're in direction with that. Got a scrimmage was tomorrow, so let's see where some of these guys are and just get an evaluation on these guys. Questions?
All right. We'll get things started with Olin Buchanan from Texas, then we'll go to Brent.
Hi, Jimbo. A couple of things. First of all, just how has Baylor Cupp and Luke Matthews look coming back off injuries?
Good. But Baylor's been out in the beginning with him and just a little bit with the hammy, and he's been back practicing full speed the last couple of days, getting back in it, made some nice plays yesterday. And just the overall feel. Hadn't played football for a long time. So, next couple of weeks will be really important for him, but he's done a nice job. Luke, really, I've been pleased with Luke. We've been off and on. We practice him and give him a little breaks and rest because we don't want to tear that thing up. And for first getting back, how we bring him back. But his knowledge of what's going on up front, providing a really good anchor. I love his call, making really good calls, understanding what's going on the defensive side of the ball to get us in the right blocking schemes. Doing a good job with his physicality inside. Been doing a nice job. I've been very pleased with Luke's performance.
And secondly, we all know there were some issues with Chris Morris in the offseason. So what's his status? Is he out there with y'all? Or
no, Chris is not out there with us right now. And no, he's not with us right now.
Will he be? Is he still part of the team?
Nah, as of right now, then we'll see what happens at the end of the semester.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Next up, we'll go to Brent Zorman from the Houston Chronicle, and then we'll go to Mike.
Hi, Jimbo. I think it was Mike Gundy who threw this out there, so I'm going to ask you about it. He liked the idea of playing a spring game against an opponent. Is that a feasible thing or something y'all would ever be interested in?
I think it's a great idea. I'm not, because I like to control those games and situations, and spring to me is an evaluation period of us and what we're doing. I think there's some merit to it. I know guys say that. Me personally, I wouldn't, just for the fact of how we work our team, being able to work more guys in a spring game actually than you do, because you end up being a lot of your starters, or your starters don't get anything and it's too short because you're running the clock and all those types of things. I would rather work do my own thing, set up my own scenarios, get guys against guys, pit confrontations, pit competitions, and things of that nature, just for that sake. It's not a good idea, but that's just the way I look at spring ball.
Right. And in terms of your players getting the vaccine, I think one of them told us that was supposed to be today. How is that going, and how satisfying is it for you that your guys are getting vaccinated?
Well, they are. I'm happy for them if they want to. Again, it's their choice. We're trying to provide as much education through the medical world so they get their questions answered before we have a speaker for them. One of our the top lady who does all the things for the NCAA and for us in the SEC, and we're going to let them ask her questions and do things so they feel comfortable with any family questions or anything of that nature. So it's an optional thing for them. But again, I did it. I believe in those things. So, if that's what they want to do, I'm glad for them. Hopefully, keep them healthy.
Do you have any idea of the percentage of players who took y'all up on that?
I can't. And I don't think all of them are in today anyway. I don't think the whole group, from what I understand it, but I can't answer that yet. I don't know.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we'll go to Mike Lucas from KX, and then we'll go to Jennifer.
Hey, Coach, I know not all your receivers are out there practicing. Caleb's still coming back from injury, but what have you seen from that group so far this spring? And do you see some of the young guys stepping up and kind of taking on that next role in what you want in this offense?
Yeah, some of those guys are doing it. I think we still got to have much more consistency there in playmaking. Because like I said, you got a young offensive line, you got a young quarterback. So it's their job, the skill guys, the running backs, tight ends, and receivers. They've got to take care of everybody else. And, doing some good things. Still got a long ways to go and where we're going, and we'll get there as we gel together. But they're doing a solid job.
Why is it hard to make the transition from high school to college in the receiver position? Like, what are the differences in playing on those two?
Well, one's competition, guy guarding you. Two is the schemes, more schematics, more coverages. You're getting guys that all have your ability. When you're a top receiver in high school, there's maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 times a year at the most you play against somebody that has your physical skills. And at that position, when you're in space, you got greater physical skills than somebody. It's a big advantage. And when you get to this level, this physical skills have to be there. But at the same time, then you're getting into technique, you're getting into route running, you're getting into, route adjustments. And because the passing games become more complicated and because of the multiple coverages and things that go on. So, I mean, it becomes a much more complicated game, just like it does in pro ball.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up is Jennifer Streeter from the battalion, and then we'll go to Chuck.
Hi, Coach. I was just wondering if you could provide us with an overall injury and status update.
Injuries, we're pretty healthy. I don't have exactly, we had a few guys in and out. I mean, Wiedemeyer, those guys I told you would be out. Other than that, it's just nicks and knacks where guys would be a day or miss a day, but they've been back. We haven't had anybody that's been removed from spring ball since the original list that we started. I mean, we may have pulled them out of period or got some evaluated, but we've been pretty healthy through spring.
Okay, and then thank you. And then last question for you. I was just wondering if you could kind of touch on what the effect of transitioning to a new quarterback, how that will contribute to the upward trajectory of this program.
Well, hopefully the guys around them will do a job. Quarterbacks are a product of what's around them. The guys around them have to do their job to allow them, especially when it's a new quarterback. They don't have time to worry about everybody else. They have to worry about themselves getting their job done. So the other guys, where the experience is, has to step up and do their job. But hopefully we can continue to play, understanding the standard at which Kellen has set for us to play at and the things that we were able to do. And they understand, and from watching his preparation, his work ethic, his demeanor, and his competitive nature on the field, that's the level we play at. And hopefully what one guy can do, hopefully the next guy can push that standard up and more. Just as, like I say, that's why records get broken. It's not that the guy is better because he's got a record, but there was a standard. He understood that. So then in the human nature is to push above. I think Kellen set a great standard here, and hopefully we can continue to push forward with that.
All right, next up is Chuck Carlton from the Dallas Morning News, and then we'll go to Travis.
Yeah, Jimbo, we had a chance to talk to some of your players earlier this week, and they were very positive about the direction of the program. Jaden Peavy said we have a standard in this program now that we want to be the #1 team in the nation. DeMarvin said he can't wait for the Alabama game. Into year 4.
Well, there's 11 others I hope he's ready for too.
Okay, but I was going to say, do you like hearing that sort of thing going into year 4? Is that a positive thing?
Well, I mean, like in general, I mean, here's I always say, it's great to have those expectations. It's great to have those goals. Now your daily habits have to match those goals where you can achieve them, which I think that's what I think they're talking about in the standard, is that our daily standard allows us to think like that and possibly be like that because of the work ethic and the demeanor in which we have. And to me, it's the whole thing. Are your daily habits and what you do on a daily basis matching up with your goals? If they don't match up, they're wasted goals. And I think that's what we're learning to do. And it's always a work in progress because, and whatever that standard is, a standard never lowers. A standard will only go up. And we got to have the standard over our feeling. We can't worry about what our feelings are. We have to worry about the standard. And I think that's what I'm glad to hear them talk about it, glad to hear them see it. And in practice so far, we're trying to achieve that. We're not there, but very pleased with what we're seeing.
And I guess nothing against that, that first group you had, but how much different is it now than that first year going through?
Well, I think I think you have to experience things, and it's an educational process. All right, what am I saying? What I'm saying is, okay, we get it. But now how do I go about it? That's the important thing. And then comprehend that and understanding what I have to do at the standard at which I have to do everything each and every day. And the mental focus, the preciseness, the lack of individualism, it's all team. And then my job as an individual to help my team. Those kind of things I think are huge. And it's been a lot better. And I think you got now more players understand it. They can help spread the message a lot better and hold people to that standard.
And last question for me, with the vaccinations going on, everything else, how hopeful are you about kind of a normal football season, whatever that is?
I pray for one. I do. I think that's what makes college football so special is, you're only playing the games, but just the experience for the fans and our players and their families and the things that you go through. You don't get to do this very often. You get a 4-year window to be able to do it, 3, 4, or 5-year window, depending on what you're doing. And I think it's very special. What's made college sports so unique. And, we're planning on that being a normal schedule and praying God that, everybody stays healthy, not just in our team across this country. And, I do want to say also, my thoughts and prayers go out to everyone yesterday and Brian on the shooting and the families and the things that go on there too, when you talk about health and welfare of things in the world, and pray that, their families are looked out for, and that the people that are able to get the treatments, and hopefully everybody's health will return great, very soon.
All right, next we'll go to Travis Brown from the Bryan College Station Eagle, and then we'll go to John.
Hey, Coach, kind of piggybacking off some of these questions. I realize, of course, that you said it's the player's choice of the vaccine. Is there a push from the coaching staff to try to get them in that direction? Is there any
No.
worry that if enough guys don't get the vaccine or key guys do, that you might be in the same situation?
Well,
with
yeah,
the
but
quarantines
again,
last year?
your personal health and what you do in the medical world is your choice. You never, as a coach, you educate. You give them the educational information that they have to base on what they want to do with them and their families, whatever decision that is. You can't. I don't try to encourage or push, because I think that's stepping across the boundary in the medical world. You explain, you educate, and then you let them make their choices.
Thanks, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll wrap things up with John Wilson from KBTX.
Coach, what do you hope to get out of the scrimmage tomorrow?
Hopefully we can go out and execute, like from taking signals, lining up, have alignment, assignments. Our techniques are very good. We play with great toughness. We play with great effort. We play with discipline. We play with pride, and we have grit in how we play. I mean, those are intangibles in which are non-negotiable. Don't take talent. And that's the first thing you got to do before you can let your talent show, is have those intangibles. And you can take a signal, you can line up. Hopefully we don't have a lot of self-inflicted wounds. We don't have pre-snap penalties. We don't turn the football over. We, take care of those kind of things, and missed assignments, missed alignments, those kind of things that allow, because the first thing to do before you win is learn not to beat yourself and not have the self-inflicted wounds. And hopefully that part of it, and a competition will be great. And then hopefully the execution will get better as we go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Coach, that's all we have for you. Appreciate the time.
Thank you, guys.